K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we're expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at advertise@k98talk.org. The leader in talk radio on the Internet, right here on K98 Talk and the Spark Radio Network.
Called the USA, and we fly our flag cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. Never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We fish the waters and we hunt the lands. We forge the steel with our own two hands. With what we've got, we do the best we can, we're Americans.
It's time now for the Conservative Curmudgeon Radio Show on K98 Talk. Now, here's Grouchy.
Don't think of the delay with server. So we're going to dive straight into this. Initially, this show was billed as talking to organizers of Protest Planned Parenthood, but in speaking with those folks, they thought it would be much more important, since the protest had already passed over the weekend, to bring on the ladies I'm going to be speaking with tonight that are with the Women's Resource Center out of Mobile, Alabama. And we're going to be talking with Susan Baldwin. I believe we have online already. Susan, welcome to the program. Maybe.
It says one of them's here, but I can't get the other one to join in, and I don't know who we actually have on the line right now. Give me just a second. I have both of their numbers. I'm just going to try to call them back, maybe.
Okay.
This is Deanna Montes. I'm hearing y'all.
Oh, that's Deanna? Okay, great. Deanna's here with us.
Yes. Yes.
Deanna's also with the Women's Resource Center. Deanna, tell us a little bit about what you do there with Women's Resource Center in Mobile.
Well, I started working with the Women's Resource Center about 11 years ago. I'm a labor and delivery nurse and had worked in labor and delivery about 15 years. And found out about Women's Resource Center, and I was just so drawn to the good work that they do that I started out as a volunteer, and 2 years later I was hired as the nurse manager and have been there ever since. I do the ultrasound, pregnancy tests, a lot of education, and then get a lot of opportunities to go out and speak to student nurses, to different schools, colleges, and just do a lot of education.
Fantastic. Now, I understand in talking with Susan a little earlier that you guys were actually not part of the protest intentionally, and that has a lot to do with the message that Susan wants to spread, and we're going to let her talk a little more to that when we get her back online. But I do understand from Kelly Taylor, who was actually part of the protest, that you guys actually opened your doors and allowed the use of the facilities and cool water and things of that nature for those folks over the weekend?
That's correct. We're all on the same team, and our mission at Women's Resource Center is to really reach the girl where she's at, and we want to provide a safe environment and make sure that she realizes it's confidential and we are there for her. But we definitely, are about life and pro-life and supporting getting the word out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're glad to have you guys there. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Women's Resource Center. Of course, this is local to Mobile, Alabama, so that's most of you out there. You guys actually set up shop directly across the street from Planned Parenthood. Is that correct?
That is correct. When Women's Resource Center started around 30 years ago, there were 3 abortion clinics in Mobile, and our first location was by the major abortion provider there. And we saw that clinic close around 2007, and there was one abortion clinic left in Mobile, and one of our donors actually paid cash for us to have that building because they so desperately wanted the girls to have another choice. And that's, one of our fears is girls making this decision. A lot of times it's out of pressure, fear, and it's not their decision or it's not what they really want to do, but they feel that they don't have another option. And so we provide them with resources, education, and a lot of times just giving them time to process, and then through ultrasound to see that life, which has been one of the most powerful tools in, educating girls and helping them bond with that baby.
Well, that is fantastic. I have to tell you, when I first started talking with Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
I got really excited about the idea of protesting against Planned Parenthood, especially with everything we've seen with the series of videos that have been released and some of the atrocities that we're really seeing coming through on these videos. And when I talked with Susan, and I don't know if we have Susan back online yet or not.
Still working on it.
Okay, still working on it. Susan was telling me that I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Susan was telling me how she wanted to have this environment that welcomed the girls in, and she was also telling me about the diversity of the girls, you guys, the ladies, I should say, not necessarily all girls, ladies too, that you guys see at Women's Resource Center. And setting up where you set up is such a fantastic maneuver because the choice is so simple now. They can actually walk across the street and actually be welcomed into some place that wants to not only, yes, promote life, but not in a way where you feel like you're being berated into guilt over what you're thinking.
Right. And if the girl feels judged, she's going to shut down, and she already has so much pressure. And we recognize that no woman wants an abortion and what a difficult decision it is. And we also have, ministry to help women that have already made an abortion decision. And, looking at statistics, a lot of women that have already had an abortion are actually more likely to make that choice again. And a lot of times it's getting them to look at that past abortion and then receiving healing and forgiveness can actually even help them choose life for the next child. So we have, like Susan said, the diversity we see from 12 years old through their late 40s, every race. We have every kind of religious background, from Christian to Muslims to Buddhist. So it is very, very diverse, from some of the lower economical to some of the wealthiest people in the area. And we get a lot of girls will come as far as Mississippi, Florida, and then kind of mid-Alabama, so it's a wide region. And like you were talking, they may be coming to the abortion clinic and then see our signs and see our free ultrasound. And, in the state of Alabama, there is a law that does require ultrasound before an abortion. So, and the reason that is because, of course, we want them to bond and see that life, but also it could be a miscarriage. It could be an ectopic or tubal pregnancy, which is life-threatening. an abortion is unnecessary with miscarriage, and it is actually even more dangerous if it were a tubal pregnancy because it can cover symptoms and put the girl's life in greater danger. And also she needs to know, how far along am I when she's looking at these procedures, to know these risks. So.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, I noticed also that we had a not. It was pretty recent that the state of Alabama passed the 48-hour wait period as well.
They did. Some of these it's still not being enforced yet. There's actually a 24-hour wait that is being enforced, but the 48-hour wait, there was also another. They were trying to pass where abortion providers would have hospital privileges, and it's trying to regulate these women's health care to where these women would know, what would I do in case of an emergency? What if something went wrong? And a lot, so we are informing the girls, you need to know, who is this doctor? What would happen to you? Where would you go? Because a lot of girls haven't even thought beyond that and the risk that it could put on them.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the Women's Resource Center website, which for those listening out there is savealifemobile.org. And I'm looking at some of the statistics posted on here, and it's truly astounding. These numbers are mind-boggling. 43% of all women have at least one abortion by the time they're 45 years old. That's a scary thought.
It is. We know that half of all pregnancies are unintended or unplanned, and then we know that about half of those will end in abortion. So it's an actual large number. And the highest group that we see abort are the age 20 to 24, which is typically your college age. And some of the newer statistics are showing girls will make a decision usually from the time they suspect a pregnancy. They've had a pregnancy test within about a week and will make an abortion decision sometimes as soon as 4 days is the average. So there's kind of a short amount of time to really reach these girls with information, support, help, and resources.
And it's a great thing y'all are doing there with it too. Roughly how many do you guys see just in your Mobile office annually?
We'll run about 150 pregnancy tests in a month, average. Some months are busier, and then we'll do a little over 100 ultrasounds in a month. And it typically, and especially at our downtown location, we have 3 locations. We tend to see
call from unknown caller. To add this caller to your current call, press 5. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Susan calling back.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
But we'll see typically 2 to 5 girls a day that are considering abortion. So
I'm still trying, man. We don't typically take this many dial-in callers at once. The system doesn't know how to do it with an open line. I can't get to my dial pad to bring the other one on. Okay.
So we're just going to keep on going, and we're going to let him keep working on Susan. Let's see. This Susan was telling me earlier to actually provide like a memorial service for people that have already chosen to abort the baby, just to give them like closure and let them know that they have support there for them.
Right. And what we recognize is regardless of whether it were a miscarriage or an abortion, they have lost a child. They have lost a baby. But a lot of girls don't know how to grieve. And, there's been a term called post-abortion syndrome, but typically it's a very unhealthy grief process. It can be where the girl feels a lot of guilt, a lot of regret, or just does not know how to deal with the loss. So some of the symptoms we'll see can be anything from eating disorders, replacement, trying to get pregnant again, or sleep disturbances. There's all, drug and alcohol use, depression, suicidal thoughts. So it can get pretty damaging to the girl's emotions. And a lot of girls have not thought about that loss. It's a healing class. Is that Susan? But
sure.
The healing class is a process where the girl is able to forgive herself and find, forgiveness, and then actually able to name the child and to honor that child. And like you were saying, to do a memorial to remember that child. And it brings great closure for her. And it's actually, we call it New Beginnings Set Free. And it is a freedom that a lot of women, carry that shame and guilt and don't know where to turn to get help, because a lot of times they're feeling judged already. So that is an amazing part of Women's Resource Center.
So let me ask you, being that you guys are literally so close to Planned Parenthood, services offered, one versus the other, is there any kind of comparison? Obviously Planned Parenthood is taxpayer funded. I'm assuming you guys are donor funded?
We are. We receive no federal funding. So we do 3 major fundraisers, and we have a lot of businesses, individuals, churches that do monthly donations. Well,
that's fantastic.
Yeah. One thing I was going to say, we, what's so powerful, one girl was in our area. She was in nursing school, and everything is confidential, but just to kind of give you an idea, she had went to Planned Parenthood even though she said it was against what she wanted to do or felt. She just did not want to disappoint her parents. And so girls a lot of times are trying to erase or undo what feels like a mistake or this shouldn't happen to me. She was with her boyfriend, and she told us that when they took her back, they didn't let him come. But during the ultrasound, they didn't show her anything. So she asked, could she see? They showed her a picture. She wasn't sure exactly, what to make out of it. Well, right before the abortion, she said, I've got to go talk to my boyfriend. So when she went out, she actually had the picture, showed it to him, and he said, do you want to leave? Well, they did, and actually came across to us. And we were able to talk with them, counsel them, and do another ultrasound. At that point, what she saw was a 12-week baby. And a baby's fully formed at 10 weeks, and by 12 weeks, even the bones are beginning to get hard. And the baby, is swimming, it can suck its thumb, it was moving around, and holding hands, they just started to sob, thinking, we never would have known if we hadn't come across here. Right. And so they actually, to kind of fast forward, ended up getting married, going back to her hometown. And even though it can be very disappointing, it's certainly a change of plans. In the long run, we can see just, the power of once they tell the family and get beyond that initial shock, that these stories can actually be wonderful, good turnarounds for everybody, and not the, oh my goodness, this is going to, just devastate my life.
Absolutely. And I'm still on your website here, and I want to read this off because I think this is so important. It has a list of the services that you all provide, and all your services are free of charge. And this includes pregnancy testing, confidential and compassionate options counseling, ultrasounds, information on abortion and alternatives, adoption counseling and referrals, maternity and labor and delivery classes, student outreach, Bible study programs, post-abortion counseling, and Earn While You Learn parenting classes. Let's talk a little bit about that last one, because that sounds very interesting, and I kind of like where it leads. So please do
Yes.
elaborate on Earn While You Learn.
Well, I'll tell the girls, babies don't come with an owner's manual. And a lot of times once they make that decision, we can get them into these parenting classes. And the classes are about an hour once a week. They can bring a partner, a friend, but they're learning, things from shaken baby syndrome, SIDS, proper, feeding, all these information about, parenting, but then they're able to shop in our baby store. So in the baby store, they're getting anything from diapers, cribs, car seats, actually practical things they're going to need to be able to take care of that child. So it's a win-win. The classes are free, and, through those classes, it's going to reduce a lot of some of the, teen pregnancies can have some negative statistics for the child. And so as they're learning, proper parenting, it's, like I said, it's a win-win for everybody. So, and then they form amazing networks and groups where they're meeting others in their same situation. So just the bonding that goes on and the relationships that are formed are just valuable beyond, putting a price tag on that.
That is fantastic. I love that kind of a program. It kind of gives them an incentive to get after it.
Right.
I also notice on your website that you guys are what, just over a month away from your annual Walk for Life?
That is right. That's correct. And that is a very great community awareness. Usually there's music. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, for anybody on the Gulf Coast, this is so important. You need to make the trip over to Mobile on October 3rd. 2 locations at the University of Mobile and at Langen Park. And the walk begins at 10 a.m. with registration at 9:30. This is a great way. It's a great time of year to do it around here, too.
Absolutely. And there'll be food and music and and a lot of times one of the most special part is some of the girls will come back and they want to share, especially with our donors, how Women's Resource Center has helped them. So you get to hear live testimonies from some of our girls, and that is the highlight, I think, of a lot of our events, is actually seeing, putting a face on the lives that have been transformed and changed.
Now, this walk is, how far is it? Is this a 5K or 1 mile, or
actually,
what is it?
It's about a mile, so anybody can participate.
That's great. That is great. Yeah, absolutely. 2 locations, so there's no excuses for anybody that's local. I see the click to register is on your webpage also. So let's see, what is the registration fee so I can let folks know, because they are out there. I don't see it.
Yeah, the registration is free, and then they usually get sponsors to sponsor them.
I see. Okay,
donations. So,
that works. That absolutely works. Okay, great. Well, Deanna, I know this isn't exactly what we had planned this evening, but I really do appreciate the time that you put in on this, and I hate that we lost Susan and haven't been able to get her back. But I know your time is valuable as much as Susan's, and I don't want to hold you up much longer. Oh, Mr. Producer?
Sorry, still fighting with the power failure over here.
I got you. Okay. Well, Deanna, I'm going to thank you very much for your time. I hope that people will actually take the time to look into Women's Resource Center and see what a great, worthy cause this is. And if ever my program can do anything to help promote your cause, please feel free to contact me anytime via Twitter or Facebook at The Conservative Curmudgeon. And I would love to have you ladies back on again in the future, maybe in conjunction with another event or something.
Yes, thank you so much, and we just appreciate what you're doing to spread the word.
Oh, absolutely. I can't think of a much more worthy cause than supporting life. So, not that I'm going to judge anybody. I just happen to think that this is a great cause.
It is. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, Deanna, again, thank you so much. And if you get a chance to contact Susan, please apologize for me. I have no idea what's going on in Oklahoma City other than power glitches. But I just appreciate both of you so much taking the time. And I know she's probably frustrated and walked away from the phone by now, but you have done such a great job, just like she said you would. And I am so glad to have had you on.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Deanna, take care now.
All right.
All right. Bye. All right, Mr. Producer, we're past the bottom of the hour. Folks, Women's Resource Center, one of the best things going, especially along the Gulf Coast. But I know there's places like this all over the country, and we need to be getting people in touch with them instead of the cold, barren, oppressing walls of Planned Parenthood. It's like a damn dungeon at Planned Parenthood. And some of the stories that Susan was telling me earlier, I really wish we could have gotten a hold of her back online, because you need to hear them. We're going to bring these ladies back, and we're going to do this again. You can't imagine how important this is. And those of you that know me out there, my child is grown, but I know that a lot of my friends out there still have young kids, and God bless you for having them. And we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to wrap out the next 20 minutes or so of the program, and we'll see what's shaking. Thanks for being here.
Oh, but ain't that America? You and me, ain't that America? Something to see, baby. Ain't that America? Home of the free, yeah.
Okay, I officially give up. Absolutely no. This is Producer, button in because my computer's being retarded again. We'll be right back here in just a second.
Hey everybody, this is Jason, host of According to Me. I'd like to invite you to check out my show. It's a 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes and... listen, I hate to interrupt, but one thing I can do is read off a script. Just say, let me be clear a lot. It works. President Obama, I can handle this. It's a radio promo. I'm not green. I've done this before. Did someone say green? Now, Al Gore is here. Listen, I'm just trying to record a radio promo. Do you mind? Now, do you say good things about me on the show? No, not at all. But if it makes you feel any better, I rip on Republicans just as much. The AM radio frequencies give off very high levels of radiation. Look, my show is on the internet, which you invented. Can I just do my promo? I got a pen. I can veto that, I know you got a pen. It's not a law. It's a radio promo. Listen, just listen to my show. Barack Obama and Al Gore hate it, so you're going to love it. Here's an executive order. Don't listen to his show. He doesn't like me. He's racist. And he doesn't recycle either. That's it. I'm done. It's According to Me, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
intro yet, but okay, it's good, good. All right, so where did you?
Do you have
Okay.
something playing on your laptop
Well,
somewhere?
welcome back. That had to be me streaming that. I apologize for that. I didn't realize something was going to go live by clicking on the link. Okay, well, welcome back. We got a few minutes left in the program. Look, the latest video on Planned Parenthood has been released, and you can see in this video that the Planned Parenthood business partner wants 50 livers a week. Are you kidding me? Like it's a damn drive-through. Okay? As for aborted baby heads, the lab techs freak out on this video. They absolutely freak out. We're going to have to tolerate a little bit of this background noise until I can find it and stop it.
Hello, Robert Sarkis. Good to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you, Susan. Come
Where
on
is
around.
this nonsense
So you get to
coming
enjoy some
from?
of our topics and learning
There
about
it
your
is.
weather.
Okay. All right, so the video is stopped now, but you know, in this latest investigative video of Planned Parenthood, a biotech CEO said her company could handle another 50 livers per week taken from aborted babies. And then, while discussing the shipment of intact baby heads and brains, the CEO laughs about making sure the child's eyes are closed, saying, "Tell the lab tech it's coming." Now, this conversation occurs during a luncheon meeting with STEM Express CEO Kate Dyer, and the buyers, who are the actors representing a fetal tissue procurement company, and one other unidentified man at the table. Now, these videos are all made by the Center for Medical Progress. You know, they're the group that's been exposing Planned Parenthood for the committing of atrocities. It's just absolutely disgusting. You know, this Dyer, her older sister is the outgoing health policy advisor to House Speaker John Boehner. So how much collusion's going on with the government on both sides of the aisle here? I don't want to get political about this because life is not a political issue. Life is a human issue. And I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. If you're helping Planned Parenthood, I've got no use for you. Now, during this lunch conversation, which took place on May 22nd, one of the buyers asked Dwyer, "What would make your lab happy?" The reply was, "Another 50 livers a week. We're working with almost like triple-digit number clinics," she said, "and we still need more." Dyer added that Planned Parenthood has volume because they are a volume institution. Isn't that nice? So STEM Express in Placerville, California, acted as a middleman between Planned Parenthood abortion clinics and research institutions looking for aborted baby parts. The company cut ties with Planned Parenthood on August 14th, following the outcry over investigative videos that were released in late July, which named STEM Express. Well, good. You know, I hate that it took shame instead of them stepping up and doing the right thing, but I'll take shame if it saves a life. Dyer goes on and jokes in the video about shipping baby parts to squeamish labs and explains that neural tissue is the hardest thing in the world to ship. You do it as the whole calvalarium, the CMP actor says, referring to the aborted baby's head. Yeah, that's the easiest way, and we've actually had good success with that, Dyer agrees. Make sure the eyes are closed, though, and they all laugh. They'll go open in the box, and oh God, yeah, so many of the academic labs cannot take that. They're not capable. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Not to mention, you know, that this is illegal. But Dyer goes on and says that many research labs don't want to know where the baby parts are coming from, that it's like they don't want to know where it comes from. I can see that, where they're like, we need limbs but no hands, and we need feet to be attached, or they want long bones and they want you to take it all off, like make it so that we don't know what it is. Folks, normally I could turn away from this, but this really bothers me on such a level that I have a hard time finding the words for it. But Dyer also asks about the possibility of getting more liver, because that is an area of high demand for them. And also says, what about intact specimens? And she says, oh yeah, I mean, if you have intact cases, which we've done a lot, we sometimes ship those back to our lab in its entirety. Now, I want you to listen to that, okay? Intact specimen is an entire aborted fetus, a whole baby. Now, you just heard Deanna talking from the Women's Resource Center about how the baby is fully formed at 12 weeks and the bones are already starting to harden. Folks, these people are aborting babies at 20 and 21 and 22 weeks. This is not a clump of cells. This is a child. And the fact that they are taking steps and altering abortion procedures to salvage more intact fetuses, entire aborted fetuses, so that they can make more money, so that some, forgive me here because I'm about to just go ballistic on this, some bitch wants a Lamborghini, so they want more money. Okay. I'm going to move on here. The Washington Free Beacon reported on August 24th that STEM Express denied the allegation, claiming that all references to case in the video were in reference to baby livers rather than the entire baby. I'm going to call bullshit on that right now. Forgive my language. My use of the term intact, said Dyer, is a medical term of art that refers solely to intact livers. Anybody buying this? Anybody at all? Now, STEM Express says that consistent with their company's prior public statements, they have never requested, received, or provided to a researcher an intact fetus. But they have no problem talking about it in the video. Now, Dyer's words are very chilling, at the least, and every, quote, intact case that STEM Express buys from Planned Parenthood is a fetus who was delivered without first killing the child through digoxin or other means, raising a high possibility these babies were born alive. Judy Brown, president of the American Life League, said in a statement, "This video reveals a devilish harvest operating at nearly unimaginable scale. This is human sacrifice to the gods of science, and it's on a level that dwarfs the atrocities of past civilizations. Planned Parenthood treats innocent preborn human persons as cattle at a meat market, butchering our future for profit today. It must end, and its co-conspirators must be defunded and shut down forever." I can't agree more. I absolutely can't agree more, and I get a huge dry lump in my throat when I think about how disgusting this is. All right. Well, for the last 10 minutes, folks, I'm going to change gears. I don't know how much more of this I can do. We'll talk a little bit. Well, let me tell you, we're going to switch to something positive. Okay. So we have NFL fullback Evan Rodriguez and his wife Olivia are expecting a little girl in December. Now, they have just also found out that their little girl has a rare birth defect, anencephaly. Okay, anencephaly. The couple has been speaking out about the diagnosis and their decision to keep their baby girl, despite the fact that she will not survive long after birth due to the condition. Doctors informed the couple early in the pregnancy that the baby will be born missing parts of her brain and skull and would live only for a few days, maybe only a few hours. Rodriguez told ABC Action News that the doctor told him and his wife they could either terminate it or move forward with the process. The couple said they relied on their faith to help decide how they were going to proceed. Evans said, "I prayed to God, and I wanted to make the right decision." Olivia said she asked God to show her what it was he wanted her to do through all of this. What's the good to come out of it? So together, they've decided to continue with the process because they felt like, who are we to determine a baby's life? So we're going to leave it in God's hands, Evans said. Olivia added that they would do anything to be able to make the best out of her life. They've named their little girl Layla Sky because Evans says, "I always zone out and look at the sky and wonder what else is out there." He told Action News that he knows he will see Layla again someday too. She'll be waiting up there saying, "Daddy." Wow, that gets you. So there is a time and place for everything. The couple's been working to raise awareness of anencephaly. I will learn how to say this, I swear I will. Evan donned a Layla Sky towel at every practice while he was still playing with the Buccaneers. Now, as an update to the story, the Buccaneers actually waived Rodriguez last week. He did not make the roster, but he is looking to be picked up by another team and already has good interest. His wife Olivia told Action News that she is prepared to move with him and find new doctors to ensure that Layla has the very best care. "I felt like it was our job to let other people know about this," Evans said. The hashtag Fight for Layla is spreading on Facebook and Twitter, and I will help that spread. I did not know about the hashtag, but God bless these people. They are celebrating Layla's life and raising awareness of things pregnant women can do to prevent anencephaly, such as taking a daily multivitamin with folic acid. Most of the time we plan on teaching our child about the world, never expecting you have to teach the world about your child. According to the CDC, about 1 in every 4,900 babies in the United States will be born with anencephaly. Mr. Producer, I know it's about 5 minutes till, and I don't know if things are ready to roll beyond my program at this point, but I really don't think that I can go much further tonight. I'm feeling like I just want to call my daughter right now.
I understand, brother. We'll get it squared away one way or the other.
I appreciate that, sir, and I'm going to wish everybody a good night, and hope to see you next week. God bless.
Red, white, and blue is our way of life. We never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights. We're Americans.
Hey folks, Slickery Trigger here. I'd like to take a minute to tell you. Hey folks, Slickery Trigger here. I'd like to take a minute to tell you about Rebel Road Tactical. As a defensive pistol instructor, I've had the opportunity to observe many different holster designs and configurations. And one thing is clear. Many of my students won't carry a pistol. Or worse, they'll carry one without a holster at all. Holster designers aren't making holsters for normal people. It seems that most holsters are either an expensive piece of gear designed for Rambo or a piece that doesn't fit or function the way real people need it to fit and function. So, like any good Texan, I decided to learn to form Kydex and design one myself, one that would fit the needs of average people. The result is the Rebel Road Tactical CRT Modular. The CRT stands for Carry, Range, and Training. Its thin and lightweight curved design minimizes printing and is adjustable to fit just right for superior comfort and function. Check us out after the show at rebelroadconcealed.blogspot.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Giggity, 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 let's have sex.